I don't know where this perspective came from that people started buying into that says you have to be perfect or become this whole new person to improve your relationship or work through issues and resolve problems a lot more effectively. That you have to become this master of communication, right? Have to be great at, conflict resolution skills or, perfect the ability to be empathetic on levels unseen before, right? Or change all of who you are, become this new person that's not you in order to make things work in your relationship or to just take it to the next level and all these other things. And it's complete falsities. The only thing you have to do and must commit to is being better. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be better and progressively and ongoingly getting better. It's the only way your relationship improves. It's the only way your relationship grows. It's the only way you progressively work through issues and make it back to a more harmonious space. It's not about conquering the mountain in a day, right? Because so often we as humans, we want immediate results. We're so used to the fast food type of experience, the microwavable results, right? The quick fixes and the hacks. And understandably so, right? Because by nature, we're built to move away from discomfort, things that don't feel good. And so who wants to sit in pain or deal with issues any longer than you need to? So you wanted to be gone yesterday. I get it, right? But you have to become something else to change current results to new results. You can't just start doing hacks and things will just change and be for the better. So it's not about you stressing yourself to have to become this whole new person and work things out with your partner or get better, right? Or it's not about you now having to adopt all these new belief systems and learn all these skills overnight and all this stuff, right? No, it's a step-by-step process, a day-by-day thing, right? And even in that, as you are progressively being better and getting better, you're going to have setbacks. You're going to have missteps, right? You're reprogramming old wiring, right? Old conditioning, you're making new conditioning. Whenever that's happening, you're bound to have that misstep because understand conditioning is a byproduct of automation, if you will. It's your body, your mind and body's way to put you in automation, which means there's a program running in you already that has habits. Habits don't change overnight. And a lot of times, whenever there's issues that are plaguing a relationship, both parties are so hyper focused on that issue and it's blowing up like the elephant in the room to where they microscope everything their partner does and they're calling it out every single moment, right? This is why couples that go to maybe couples counseling or something like that once or twice are usually upset or they wind up, feeling like they're not making progress or they go and say, oh, you're not sticking to the plan we agreed to and what we're working through because their partner hasn't made this 180 overnight after there's new concepts and new tools they never used in life or never learned that they're just now learning and trying to implement. There has to be grace for yourself just as much as there needs to be grace given to your partner as well. I mean, look, I do this day in and day out. This is what I do for a living, right? Help people transform their lives and their relationships for a living. All I do is teach more effective communication tools and tactics and learn how to heal and all the things, right? And how to problem solve and resolve conflict effectively in your relationships. This is what I eat, sleep, and breathe. And even I'm not perfect at it, but nor do I want to be, right? I recognize that the idea of perfection robs the gift of growth, right? I know this. And so I'm also aware that I'm an organic being like anyone else that has days, has moments, and I give myself the grace to have a misstep, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Because I eat, sleep, and breathe this, I'm pretty damn good, right? I don't have many of them. And even when I do, it's about how do I bounce back? See, so many of you, when you're trying to work through being this better version of yourself for yourself and for your partner, right? For the relationship, you kick yourself and you beat yourself up so much whenever you do drop that ball, you forget again. And that habit that you've been trying to change comes out again and you do something that causes issues in the relationship or keeps the situation going on and all that, right? And you beat yourself up about it really bad. You get so focused on the misstep, the mistake, right? The habit you're trying to break, the thing that's still a part of the issue. And maybe your partner's focusing on that mostly too. And you forget to focus on how did I bounce back from it? See, if you make a misstep or you make a mistake, it's less about harping on the mistake itself and more about what you've done about it. And I stress this to my clients often, right? Don't go so heavy on trying to work against a bad habit that you have or that you feel is a bad habit or something that you know is a shortcoming of yours, something that you struggle with. Don't try to work against it and try to like beat yourself up until you stop doing that thing. No, work with it, right? While you are in process of trying to deconstruct it and build it into a muscle and not a weakness for yourself. And what that means is whenever you have these missteps or what have you, when you have the misstep or the mistake, hey, come back and own up to it. Take acknowledgement for it, right? Take accountability. Because see, so often people do great whenever they're doing well with a new, tool of communication or conflict resolution. But it's whenever they drop that ball, they have a hard time giving themselves that grace and they focus on beating themselves up instead of saying, hey, all right, I made that misstep, but I love myself enough to actually give myself that grace because I know where my heart's at. I know where my intent is. My intent is not to help the problem. I want to help the solution. It's just I have habits I'm trying to work through and get rid of. So when you offer yourself that, you just say to yourself, all right, what can I do to at least go and take acknowledgement and accountability for what I did do, that misstep, that mistake? And what can I commit to or try to make tweaks in my process to chip away at it happening again? So it becomes less and less until it's not a thing anymore. And this is why it's also so crucial and important that if you're in your relationship and your partner's the one making the missteps, right, that you offer them that grace. You offer them that words of encouragement, even though that misstep may still impact you. And hey, look, you can't just get beat up all the time, right, with things and just, stand for the verbal abuse or the disrespect or whatever's going on. But you offer grace in it as long as you can recognize and identify that they didn't intend to do what happened, that they are trying to work through not doing it again, that they're showing you tangible steps and results that shows that they're actually putting the work in, that you're seeing progress. See, that's the difference between someone saying, oh, I'm going to do better. They just keep doing the same mistake over and over again and keep saying, I'm going to do better, but then don't give you an actual action plan as to how they're going to do that and make it happen. Or when they give you the action plan, their words don't match the actions, right? They say they're going to do it, but they don't do it. See, that's whenever you have to put your foot down, have boundaries, and maybe check out of that relationship if it continues and you're not seeing any progress. But if your partner's doing everything they can to try to work with you and trying to do better and they keep making steps and making progress, but they have those little missteps, offer them the grace and the encouragement to keep going. So they want to stay in that fight, to fight for your relationship instead of wanting to defend themselves and fight against you. And ultimately, if their growth is just too slow for you, then you may be learning they just can't live to your standard for where you are in life right now. That's okay too. But notice nothing in that equation has to be negative. It doesn't have to be a tear down. It can always be with love because that's going to be the only thing that helps build both of you guys up. Bottom line though, show yourself a lot more grace. It's not about being perfect to work through issues and growing in your relationship. It's more about steady, consistent progress and diligence towards effort, even whenever you drop the ball, to pick it up and come back stronger than you did the first time. And in return, it's about offering grace to your partner as well when you see them going through their same spaces and struggling, to where you don't beat them up, but you encourage them to be better. Inspiration, right? Inspiration is what it boils down to. So if you need help building the tools and the skills and working through your habits you're trying to shape to be a contribution to your relationship and not tearing it down, or offering your partner the grace they need to stay in the ball game to work through things with you, email or DM me the word coaching and we'll get to work, as long as you're truly ready to put the work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, don't have the time or the space for it, then email or DM me the word revival so you can join my Relationship Revival Hub community, to where you can take my relationship renewal course. It's a video course, right, that walks you through everything I teach all my clients one-on-one at your own pace on your own time. And I do live weekly coaching calls in there that are recorded, so you can watch them back at your own time, at your own pace, whenever you need to. It's set up for you to have success on your own time. Let's get it.